start with a couple of marches, or you can do high knees just to get yourself started, get you warm, get you ready. All right. And we're going to switch that to some butt kickers. We're just kicking up towards our bottom. All right, good. From here, we're going to do some dynamic stretches for the hamstrings. So we're going to swoop down and all the way up. And then you're going to switch to the opposite side. So you're going to swoop down and then switch to the opposite side. So it's like you're wiping the mud off of your shoes and then standing straight up. All right, we're going to do one more on each side. Very good. Last one. All right, and from here, we're going to cross behind our front leg and lean across, uncross from the front. Opposite side, so left behind right, stretch out, uncross. We're just going back and forth like this. Good. Just do one more on the opposite side. Okay, good, and we'll do some windmills. So we're gonna circle it all the way forward. All right, and then we're gonna reverse it. We're gonna do backwards arm circles here. All right, and then last thing here, we're going to stretch to the opposite sides here. So right hand to left foot, left hand to right foot. Keeping your hips straight, or not your hips, your knees straight, sending the hips backwards. So you get a nice little hamstring stretch there, working the hips as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So what you're going to need for this workout is you're going to need a variation of weights. I'm going to be using a pair of 10s. I'm going to grab my 15s as well. If you have just one pair, that's fine. You know, make do with what you have. And then I'm going to grab some 5s as well for one of the other ones. So I have a kind of a variation, just like I like to mix it up. Make sure I have a little bit of everything kind of going on. All right, so first part here, I'm just gonna walk you through the exercises quickly. The first one is gonna be jumping jacks. So pretty self-explanatory there. If you need to, you're gonna be stepping it out. The next one is gonna be doing dumbbell overhead walking lunges. So a pair of dumbbells up above, and you're gonna be walking through. So hopefully I don't lose you on the screen here, but if you do, you're just gonna be doing 10 reps, and I'll remind you about the reps of how many we're doing. You're gonna go back and forth. Then you're going to do some air squats, so sitting back down. And finally, you're going to do some tabletop crunches, and I'll show you how to do that when we get to that part. I'm just going to go ahead and set my camera up a little bit better so you can see me. I think you're better there. All right, so I'm just going to move these aside, and we'll get started with the actual workout. All right, let's get started. We're going to start our workout here. Just setting up our timer. All right, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is 9 minutes of part 1. So first one that you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing jumping jacks, or you can do, if you have a jump rope, you can do a jump rope. We're doing 40 of these. All right, so what you can do here, and hopefully I can count my reps while I talk, is what you're going to do here is, if you need to, you're stepping it out. We're at 15, 16, 17, 18. Another option is you can do kind of cross-country skiers. So do whatever works best for you. So I think we're at 25. And what you want to remember is that you want to exhale as you get that impact on your feet. Stay light on your toes. Make them as light as possible. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, you're gonna go ahead and grab your dumbbells. All right, so I'm grabbing a couple of 10s. We're gonna do 10 walking lunges, weights up above our heads. We're gonna walk all the way through. Make sure that your Knee isn't going too far over your toes. All right, turn it around, 2 more here. Good. All right, next one we have here is we're gonna do air squats. So just 10 of those. You're coming down and up. Remember, go at your own pace. If I'm going too quick, I'll try to keep talking so you guys kind of know what we're doing next, in case you're ahead of me. 8, 9, 10. All right, next one, tabletop crunches. I'm gonna come down here to the corner so you can see me a little bit better. And what you're doing here, your legs are up. Now all you're doing is you're crunching up and back down. So exhale as you come up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Couple more. If you're dealing with a diastasis, you can always just come here. Be mindful of any coning. Make sure that your abdominals stay nice and flat. That as you lift your head up and you're crunching, that things don't bulge in the middle, especially below, if you're dealing with pelvic floor issues. So you're just gonna exhale, think about zipping up as you lift your head up. You should still be able to do a controlled crunch as you do that. You're just not going to go super hard with it. All right, back at the top, we're doing our jumping jacks. Back to 40. 3, 4, 5. Again, we're going to exhale as we impact on the hard one. You can go back and forth. You can mix it up if you need to, so you don't get tired, and you can just keep pushing forward. Okay, I think that was 10. I don't even know. 4, 5. It's kind of a modified jumping jack. 7, 8, 9, 30. 10 more. 8, 9, 10. All right, we're grabbing our weights again. We're doing overhead lunges. So coming to the end of our mat here, we're gonna walk forward, weights up over our heads. Make sure as you do this, that your ribs are not thrusting forward. What I mean by that is that we're not leaning forward. Think about keeping your ribs stacked over your pelvis. That's going to give you the best control if you're having pelvic floor issues, if you're having coning with the diastasis. All right, air squats. We're squatting down, pushing through our heels to stand back up. What we're not doing, we're not pushing ourselves all the way forward. We're not ramming the head of the femurs up into our hip sockets. From the front view, we're not letting our knees crash in. Keep them out. Think about aiming over your pinkies. Last one. All right, tabletop crunches. Back on the floor. Again, trying to keep our abdominals nice and flat. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Bring your feet up into that 90-90 position. And now you're going to exhale every time you crunch up, making sure abdominals stay nice and tight and flat. 6, 2 more. All right, see how many more we can get through. This is round 3 of the same ones. Back to the top with the jumping jacks. Again, if you're getting tired, you can go ahead and take a sip of water, do what you need to catch your breath, and then go ahead and jump right back in when you're ready. That's the beauty of kind of following someone along. You don't have to think about what the workout is. I do that for you. 2 more. All right, back to the full jumping jacks. 6, 9, 10. All right, just one quick word as you're doing those jumping jacks. If you feel that you are having maybe the urge to go to the bathroom, One thing that I saw someone mention that I thought was a pretty good cue, because we always talk about stacking your ribs over your pelvis. It says bring your chest over your toes, and that's going to help keep things stacked, because a lot of times people want to open up as they do that. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's grab our weights. We're doing our overhead lunges. 10 of these. And then we're doing our air squats. Two more. Whoop, lost my balance there. All right, and air squats. Again, remember, we're trying to keep our knees more in line with our outer pinkies versus letting them crash in this way. That's not going to feel good after a while. And we want to make sure we're activating the right muscles as we're doing this workout. Two more. Good. We're back down on the floor. Tabletop crunches. 10 of these. All right, you guys are doing awesome. We still have another minute left, so we're gonna see how far we can get into it. We're back to 40 jumping jacks. All right, 10 of them. And then when I do it this way. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Full jump jacks. All right, we still got 30 seconds left. Just grab those weights. Let's push ourselves. We'll get a little bit of a break here in a second. Can you get 10 overhead walking lunges in? 15 seconds. Finish it out. Push hard. 2 more reps. 2 more seconds. Whew, we did it. All right, take a little break there. Get some water. We'll start the next set of 9 minutes here in a second. So we went to about like 3.5 rounds of that, I think. So that was pretty good. All right, the next ones that we have is we're gonna have a half kneeling overhead press. So you'd be like this, and we're gonna do it one-sided, because I wanna make sure you guys really stick with your core. So you're gonna do 10 here, opposite hand to knee. Then we're gonna switch, do 10 more there. And then we're gonna be doing our lateral shoulder raises. And this is where you might wanna opt to get something lighter. So you can either do the standing out to the side. You can do it in tall kneeling if that's more your thing. And then finally the last one, you might want an elevated surface for this one if you're feeling pretty tired, or if you just want to make sure that you push yourself. So what you're going to be doing is I'm going to actually move it over on this side. Is you're going to be doing some shoulder taps here, and then you're going to do a push-up. So if you're not quite making it all the way on the floor, bring it up for this, all right? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna go ahead and start with our half kneeling overhead press. So you're gonna grab your weight, you're in half kneeling position. Exhale to go up. Six, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We're gonna switch. All right, as we do this, what I want you to think about is that we're not reaching all the way out with our sides there. Trying again to keep things stacked. I just see myself kind of holding my side to make sure that I'm keeping myself honest. Got 4 more. Exhale as you go up. Keep the tummy muscles nice and tight. All right, next one. We got the standing lateral raises, or you can do it kneeling. and not for standing here. You're going to keep your abs nice and engaged. Exhale, out. You don't have to go all the way up. Just right above the shoulders. We got 5, 6, 7, 8, and I lied. It's not 10, it's 12. So 2 more here. Last one should have also been 12. So next time we'll make sure we get to that 12. All right. Next one in this round is we got our shoulder taps with the push-up. So it's a 4 to 1. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, push-up. We got 6 of those total. Hence, this is why I'm bringing myself up because I know I'm gonna get tired. 1, 2, 3, 4, down and up. As you do this, make sure that your abs stay nice and tight. Exhale to come up. If you notice any coning as you do this, you might need to elevate the surface that you're working on to make sure that you keep things safe for yourself. 1 more here. I think I did the next one. And back up. All right, back to the top. So we're back down, and remember, we're gonna do 12 of these, not 10. All right, half kneeling. Exhale as you press up. Two more here. 11 and 12. Go ahead and switch. Other side. And get right into it. Again, we're trying to keep our ribs nice and anchored. 4. My left side seems to struggle a little bit more, so I like to really hold things down and just give myself that tactile cue. 2 more here. Last one. All right, good. All right, lateral raises. Standing up or kneeling down, whatever works for you. Or coming straight out to the sides. 5 and 6. You know, after a while, 5 pounds seems like a lot. Two more here. Shoulders are burning. All right, back down to our shoulder taps with a push-up. And again, we're doing 6 of these total. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, push-up. That's 1. And 2. Keep your abs nice and tight. Exhale as you come back up. Take small sips of air. 4. Last one. Good. All right, back up to the top here. So we're doing our half kneeling overhead press. We've still got 4.5 minutes. This is round 3. How many are going to get in? Two more here. All right, we're going to switch that up. Other side. All right, my arms are really starting to burn here. I have to switch this down in the next round. Four more. Let's go. All right, we're going to our lateral raises. Shake that out if you need to. All right, here we go. 12 lateral raises. Six, halfway there. Last 2 here. I'm going to dig deep. These pecs are feeling really heavy. All right. All right, back down to our shoulder taps, those push-ups. We got 3 minutes here, so we're gonna be probably be able to make it to the next round here. 4 and 1. Make sure that you're not rocking too much side to side. That's 4. 2 more. The last one. All right, back to the top. Pretty sure we can make it through another round. I'm going to drop down to 5s. My arms are feeling pretty tired today. So 12 of these. Just want to make sure that I can keep pushing with good form. So it's okay if you need to drop down. I will say with an AMRAP type of workout, sometimes I get a little too ambitious because I forget that it's time, so I can do a lot more rounds through it. But in reality, you just gotta keep pacing yourself. It's not about how fast you get things done, it's about finishing the workout with good form and staying strong. 2 more after this. 12. All right, let's see if I can do this next round kneeling since I haven't tried that yet. All right, we got 12 more to go. And actually, I'm gonna stand because I like it better. Just feel like I got more power out of it. Four more. Last one. All right, this next one that we have going on here, oh, we got a 4 and 1. We got 30 seconds. Let's see if we can finish this last round. That's 1. You might need to speed it up here. That's 2. And 3. 4. 5. Last one. Make it quick. Look at back, quick and left. And 6. All right, we got through 4 rounds of that, I think it was. All right, shake it off. Take a little break. We're gonna do a last round of exercises here. So with this one, we got deadlifts to work on. So we'll do deadlifts. Again, just kind of lean back, making sure that we push our hips back. Then we have another one that's, you can do 2 dumbbells. You can do 1, but basically you're gonna come down on the floor, almost like that deadlift position, and then you're gonna flip it up and over your head. All right? And then we got something called burpees, or you can just do broad jump burpees. You're gonna jump forward, you're gonna kick down into a burpee, and then come all the way back up, and then just kind of jog it back. All right, and then the last one, we got inchworms. We're gonna walk it out, and then we're gonna walk it back. All right, take another sip of water, and we're gonna get started here for the last one, then we're done, so 9 more minutes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. You know, I look at the 15s now, and I'm thinking I was a little too ambitious initially, but we're gonna do our deadlifts. So we're going to bring the hips back, stand all the way back up. Make sure as you stand up that you're pressing through your heels and that you're not pushing your hips forward. Okay, this is 4, 5, exhale as you press through the heels. Keep your back relatively straight. You should not feel any pain or discomfort in your back. All the work should be coming from your glutes and your hamstrings. All right, last one here. And then we're gonna do dumbbell ground to overhead. So I'll start with the 10, but then you should be switching back down to 5s. Then we're doing 10 of these. So we're coming down, and then in that kind of deadlift position, flip it up, press. 2. Important here that you keep your ribs stacked. All right, we're not flaring anything forward. We're not going to hurt our diastasis if that's what we're dealing with. We can keep working out if we work smart and we stay safe. This is 8. Exhale as you go up and come back down. All right, next one, my least favorite. All right, broad jump burpees. We're just doing 6 of these. All right, here we're jumping forward, we're stepping back, laying down, turn it back. All right? If jumping's not your thing, or you're not quite there yet, you can just step it forward, you can step it back, you can come down, lift your hands, and jump back in, and then walk it back. If that's still too much for you, you can use an elevated surface and jump up and kind of stay in this position here. So you're not really jumping up, or you can come up on your toes and keep going. All right, so this is 7. Oh, I think we don't need to do 6, so I think we're good. All right, last one here of this round is you're going to be doing your inchworms. So at the end of your mat, you're going to walk down, exhale. As you walk out, keep your abs tight, walk it back, stand back up. We're doing 10 of these. This is 3. Make sure you keep your abs tight as you walk out. If you can't make it all the way out without noticing toning or pressuring your pelvic floor, just go part way. Even if you have to keep your bottom up, you can do it that way. A good alternative, keep going, you have 4 more, is you can come back out. This is gonna be safer. You're just gonna walk it here and come back down. So you're lifting up, coming back down. So it's a little bit different, but you're still working your core, which is what we're trying to do here. All right, back up to the deadlifts. Back at the top, I'm gonna grab my 15s this time. We're gonna do 10 deadlifts, right? Feet hip width apart. Send your hips back. Engage your glutes, press through your heels. Exhale to come up. Keep your core engaged, even as you inhale through your ribs. This is 6. Again, you should not be feeling this in your back. Make sure that the weight stays back in your heels. Should not be up in your toes. Your toes are there for balance to keep you standing up straight. All right, next one we have here is dumbbells to overhead press. Coming down to 10s, 10 of these. Down, exhale up. What I like to think about as well, as you exhale so that you avoid arching your back way up over your head, is think about as you come up that you're almost bringing that pubic bone up towards your head, and that's going to help engage those lower abdominals. Two more here. Good. All right, set those aside. Straight into the broad jump burpees, or you're doing elevated burpees. Run it back, and again. That's 2. We just got 6. Exhale to jump back. Exhale to zoom in. I'm gonna do one more. Counted. Last one. All right, inchworms. 10 of these. Straight back down. Exhale to walk it out. Halfway there. 6. If you can't do the inchworms, you're doing a reverse hip thrust. So you're on your hands and your feet. You're thrusting your hips up. That's if you're not doing the inchworm walkouts. You got one more after this. Last one. All right, back at the top. You got a minute 57. Let's see if we can finish one more round. All right, deadlift. Exhale. Press through the heel. Spread out your toes so that you have better balance. Three more. 3, and 2, and 1. All right, we got our floor to overhead press. Coming up next, spread the feet out. Think about pulling your pubic bone up to your head. That'll help protect your lower back. Keep those lower abs engaged. This is 4. 5 more. Last one here. All right, that's how many burpees we got left. Only got about 30 seconds. Really try to push it. See if you can get all 6 in. It's 4, we're gonna need 2 more. Keep pushing. Last one. Just in time. All right. We didn't get to that last bit of exercise, so that's okay. All right, quickly, just going to stretch it out to the side and to the opposite side. Trying to slow our heart rate down in a safe manner. Very good, you're gonna go ahead and grab that foot behind your leg. Put a hand out to balance yourself. Grab a wall, a chair, whatever you need to. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Make sure that you drink your water, get hydrated, get some rest. All right, coming down, stretching our hamstrings. Rock it side to side. Go ahead and roll it back up. All right, we did it. We finished our workout. And again, we're here in another couple weeks. I'm really sweaty. So again, if you sweated as much as I did, then you did it right. All right, let me know in the comments if you want to see a certain type of workout. If not, we'll see you next time.